So, hello everybody. Today I'm joined by Amanda. Amanda, thank you for taking some time today to speak with me. Do you want to do a quick little intro on who you are and what it is that you do?
Yeah, okay. Hi, Alexi. Yes, I'm Amanda James, and I am a relationship coach, and I generally help women that are at the point of separating. They don't know whether they're going to be staying or leaving their relationships. So I help them guide through the sort of staying part, help them reconnect with their partners, or if their decision is to leave, help them to navigate that process as well. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Amazing. Cool. Pleasure to have you here. So, I guess context for anybody watching, me and Amanda, I think we first met in June, wasn't it? In June we
Yes,
first got
it
started.
was.
So,
Yes.
yeah, so it's been going quite a while now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought I'd just invite Amanda on and just so she can share her experience of working together. So, yeah, I guess, Amanda, do you want to kick us off and let us know, like, when we first met, that first call in June, like, what was the main frustration that you were like facing within your coaching business that you were hoping that we could really help you with?
Yeah, so the main frustration was probably the amount of leads. I mean, I had tried adverts with YouTube, which were good. It wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
I did a webinar and got calls through that way, but I just felt like the quality wasn't as good, and so I was spending quite a lot of time on calls with people that just probably wasn't going to go anywhere, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing because it was all experience. But I one of the things I was thinking about before you and I had connected was Instagram, because I'd not touched Instagram. I've got a Facebook page, done YouTube, but Instagram is something that I don't know why, I just had a bit of a blocker about it and thought
Yeah.
it would be nice to do, but I don't even know really where to start with that. Obviously, I've got my own page and things like that, but in terms of the business, I wasn't quite sure. And it was just at the time I was thinking about it, that you sort of came into my feed, I think, on probably on Instagram actually.
Yeah.
And I looked and thought, I think I downloaded something from you,
Mm.
which I actually didn't watch, if I'm honest. I didn't actually watch it, but I think about a week or so later, I got a call. And then I didn't know it was about Instagram, in fact, but it was just, we started talking and I thought, oh, okay. And then I knew it was something to do with that. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll just do a call with you and see what happens.
Yeah.
Um, and then we had a call, and then obviously you were talking about the leads and generation and things like that. And that was exactly what I was kind of looking for. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's kind of where I was at the point. I was basically trying to increase my lead generation and get some more clients in, obviously, and
Yeah.
and just move a bit further than where I am at the moment. So
Yeah. Cool. And so like for you personally, like how were you feeling about lead generation, sales, getting more clients? Like what was your outlook on it at the time?
sorry, from before you mean, or
Yeah, from before,
on
like how were you
Instagram?
feeling about it like before we met in terms of like being able to get
It
the
was just
clients?
slow, yeah. And I
Yeah.
knew, because like I'm a coach, I'm not a marketer, so I know that that was kind of a weak spot for me in terms of how do I market myself best, how do I attract the leads that I need to attract. So I knew that I needed some help and guidance, and I have had
Yeah.
help in the past, which has been really good, I think, for that time. But because I wanted to move forward with something different and new, which I hadn't tried before, and I knew Instagram was something that I wanted to try.
Mm.
So that's kind of where I was at. So you kind of caught me at the point where it was going on in my mind, but I hadn't quite got to a point where I wanted to go next. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. And so you mentioned you tried like the YouTube ads and you've done the webinars. Like,
yeah.
had you tried anything else before? And if not, or if you have in general, what was your experience like with all of those things?
So just posting on Facebook. So
Okay.
I started doing reels probably about a year prior, but because my audience on Facebook is probably more sort of friends and family, and I've never done ads on Facebook,
Mm.
because I just hadn't heard positive things. I've heard it was quite difficult to get
Yeah.
to run. So I just wanted something that was a lot easier. So I hadn't had a lot of success in terms of that, but people would know who I am, etc. But then YouTube was good. Like I would get a lot of views and a lot of people coming through, but it just wasn't quite the quality that I needed. So
Mm. Yeah, fair enough. And so for you then, when we met in June, like what was the thing that made you want to go ahead and take the decision to work together?
I think your expertise, like you just knew what you were talking about. So you seem to have a lot of knowledge in an area that I did not have knowledge.
Yeah.
And I obviously looked at some of your testimonials and what people were saying, and I know that you'd helped another coach in the same field as me.
Yeah.
So that was actually quite a big attraction because you'd already done it. So that
Yeah.
was something that was kind of tried and tested. And you were very confident. You were just very clear that, yeah, absolutely, I can help you. There was no sort of, a sort of hesitation from your side wanting to work with me, which is obviously really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that was the main thing that I was, looking for, just someone to have expertise in an area that I didn't have the expertise in really. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so I guess the part most people are wanting to hear from this, like, so over our time together, what would you say the main results have been that you've achieved?
the main results have been leads. Like I have like every day I probably have on average, I mean, it was like December was mental. Like I couldn't even keep up with the amount of leads that I had. So they haven't all converted into clients, but it's just that constant flow, which is
Yeah.
what I didn't have before. And I know these are really good people that want the help. So I haven't contacted everybody because it's been such a busy time. But I have been in that's on my list to do this week to just to get in touch and follow up, because there's been a lot of follow up that I haven't followed up on, and that's on me. That's not on anything else. But in terms of what's been really good is the amount of people that have come through because they've seen the ad works. That's really what's drawing people in.
Yeah.
um, so the advert's working. There's a lot of leads. There's a lot of more work I could do in terms of contacting them and following up. So and I've got clients, which is obviously ultimately the most important thing. So that's been really good. And I've got calls this week and calls next week booked in with people as well. So
Oh,
let's see. I mean,
amazing.
it's the beginning of the year. I think my ads have been running. I think it was October time. So
Yeah.
so that's been a couple of months that it's been up and running. And I think I've got now close to, I think it's about 2.2 thousand followers. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so even just running the ads, it's created the following, and now I'm just posting and doing things. But I don't need to post a lot. I do once a week posting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really pleased with the amount of followers I've got so far in that space of time. I think that's a good amount of people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's brilliant. And yeah, I guess for anybody watching, for context, when we're talking followers, the way we're doing lead generation, a follower is a lead here. So
Yeah.
yeah, when Amanda says she's had 2,200 followers, that's 2,200 leads, which is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fair amount of
Yeah.
interest. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good. That's amazing. And yeah, I mean, like I've really enjoyed working with you over this period. Obviously, we had the
Yeah.
in-person mastermind as well, which was good
Yes.
fun.
It's really
And
nice. Yeah.
yeah, it's just been a joy to work with, very easy to work with. But I
Oh, thank
guess
you.
for yourself, like what's been your favorite part about working together?
Yeah, no, the same. It's just really easy. Like we can just chat. You always have the answer. There's nothing that I've asked you that you've not known the answer to. And even if it's just been like a small thing or a big thing, and that just shows your sort of level of expertise and your experience. So no, just easy. It's just really easy. Like you check in every week, which is lovely. You've got these calls that you do, and then it's just yeah, and for me as well, one of the other really big plus points is your program, like online program, because you explain
Mm,
everything like step by step. You just can't go wrong with what you do. And then the spreadsheet, which is really key because you've got to track the data, and that's something that I
yeah.
wasn't doing. And that the data tells you everything that you need to know. So if you're not tracking that, then you're missing out on a whole piece of data that is giving you information to do better, or where you need to check and where you need to look at.
Mm,
So an Excel spreadsheet is really, I mean, I can do Excel, but the way you've done it, and it's just so to a lot of detail, which means that you really know what you're doing because it's quite complex uh,
yeah.
for someone that isn't maybe big on Excel. But it just the way and all I have to do is just fill in the information. I don't need to think about it, which
Yeah.
is great. The formulas are already set up and ready to go, and then I can just replicate it every month. So there's nothing really. So you've done all of that hard work for me, which is really good. Yeah, so that's great. And so no, easy to work with. Even just when we were talking about the advert and everything like that, it was just really easy, free flow. And you're really passionate about what you do, and that really shows in your energy. and that's lovely because it just makes you, you're lovely to work with. So yeah, so it's
Oh, thank you.
makes it really easy. Yeah.
Oh,
So
thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. And I guess for yourself then, like, what would you say are the main differences in like your business from before when you didn't have the strategy and the lead flow to like now that you do?
yeah, it's just I'm just busier. So it just means that I'm, contacting more people, having more calls, and I've got more clients. So yeah, so it just means I'm busier, but in a good way. In fact, it's probably I've got more than I can cope with. Really, let's put it that way. I've got more than than I can probably manage. Because I do other stuff as well, so it's
Yeah.
quite a lot for me to manage. But that's a good problem to have. Like
Yeah.
before, it was I didn't have enough. Now I've got more than enough to
Yeah.
work with. So no, really, really happy, really glad I made the decision to work with you. So it was
Oh,
a good decision.
amazing. Thank you. Cool. And so two last questions for you here. One of them I think a lot of people will find quite useful. Like when we initially spoke, did you have any like particular hesitations before signing up?
Yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, I'd spoken to a couple of people similar to one person mainly prior to you,
Yeah.
and I just didn't feel that they had the experience. They just, yeah, I just wasn't quite aligned. Although I was really interested, but they hadn't sold it to me in a way that I think it was lacking confidence. I think
Yeah.
that's probably what it was, and that came through a little bit on the call that I had with them. But with you, it was different because I could see that you had results, and that was what was probably the main thing, was that I
Mm.
could see your results already because you had a lot of testimonials already. You'd already gone through some results with me, so it was clear your sort of history of success was there. But in terms of yeah, I mean, obviously it's a lot of money to pay out, which
Yeah.
of course it's going to be a hesitation for people. What I did like was there was a plan, so I could pay it monthly over a few months, which was really helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the main hesitation would be, am I going to get the results that I'm
Yeah.
looking for? And that's something you're not ever going to know at that beginning point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the only thing I could look at was the history of what you have done so far, that the success of people that you have worked with. And when I saw that, because you just, you do videos like this, so it's really helpful for people that are looking to. So that's probably one of the biggest things, was being able to see the what you'd already, how you've been successful prior.
Oh,
So.
cool. Amazing. Cool. And thank you. And last question for you, Amanda. Who would you recommend us to and why?
I'd recommend you to, or to any coach, I think, that's looking for to use Instagram. If you haven't used Instagram or not had success with Instagram, and it's an avenue that you want to go down, because that's what the point that I was at. I wouldn't have any hesitation. In fact, anybody that wanted to use Instagram to sell their business, it doesn't have to be coaching. It could be consulting. It could be anything really, because it's the same process. It's the
Yeah.
same way of working. It's just probably different products or slightly different tweaks that you might need to make, which I think you would know about. But yeah, anybody that's interested in digital marketing, that wants, because I think you probably have experience in YouTube and Facebook and everything as well.
Yeah.
So, but anyone that is, I think, generally looking for some sort of digital marketing help, I think you could probably help anybody. So
Oh,
yeah,
cool. Thank you. I appreciate that, Amanda. And like I said, Joan's been a pleasure helping you and watching you grow over these few months and excited to see
yeah,
what happens for you going forward as well. So yeah, thank you for taking the time to do this with me today.
that's a
And
pleasure.
yeah, for anybody watching, if you want to see a little bit more detail about sort of what Amanda's talking about, the process we used, etc., I'll leave a link below with a video. But again, Amanda, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.